Alrighty, guys, let's go ahead and get into this Friday recap and check out some price action and kind of see what happened for the day. Which you can kind of see I'm here on the 1 hour right now, and price action is just kind of gone sideways. But let's jump on into that 15-minute and kind of look at the price action. Really, here was the Friday price action. You can see right as we came out of the early morning, where I marked here with this vertical line, we just started going down, which kind of is a move off of the run up they had here to hit that key level of a breakout. You can see that marking out your key levels, they're weird, just because of the expansion that you had between the two. Usually kind of is signs of just price action kind of resetting for behavior or something like that. For me, a lot of times when I see kind of weird levels and weird things being set on the charts, I kind of just back up and take a breather and watch. Which I think a lot of it's just a reset from watching that news event that we were talking about the day before. So if you were looking at trading this, you would have definitely would have wanted to watch your 30 minute. So if we're going to that 30-minute chart, this is that candle right here, and it's like I have my levels off just a hair on this, but that 30-minute candle is it looks like I set this candle. I should have set this candle, which would have moved it up even more than I had. Which this candle right here just started to break and it started to run down. So it would have been a little bit harder to take advantage of this trade because of the breakdown. Now, if you were just going to watch your charts, you can see that we started to break down through here. We lost the 21 and then lost the 200. From there, we started to break on down. So that would have been an opportunity that you could have looked at in the markets right there. And this is what it would kind of look like because you started to lose the 200. It would have been hard to take it too early, depending on where you had your candles marked, like I was just talking about. Here, you're going to want to watch, if you marked it the way I did, you want to watch the breakout through here and take advantage of it that way and just trade down to the key levels. I do like to read these levels as target areas, and I usually run past them. If you mark the higher area, it would have shown this area, which just would have been kind of more ideal because you've already lost the 200, the 21's pushing through, and it's already starting to break down, and same thing, you would have ran that target. So that would have been a little bit better trade for you. But it kind of depends on, that's why marking out key levels is critical, because I just showed you how I marked it, how somebody else would have marked it. If they were running the true 30-minute, they would have had their lines adjusted. And but either way, just show you that there is opportunity to mark it. This would have been more confirmed in this case, because it's already starting to roll over and move on down for the move for the trade. That continuation, you can see once that energy had all burned out, this is all pretty early too. Most of the time you don't start seeing the market move to around 9 Central Standard Time, somewhere right in this area. You start to see it move. That could have been another opportunity for somebody who hasn't backtested the 21. This is kind of later in that move, but just more confirmed. The same thing though, you would have been looking at taking it out here at these targets, just because these are key levels. This yellow line here is the point of control on that weekly. I definitely would have been looking at that for a fight area. You can see though, once it broke down, started to backtest it, it did look like it was actually going to go ahead and shove it down further, but the market is fighting to hold pretty strong in these areas, and that's why we want to be careful if you're going to be shorting the market, because this is kind of what you see, a quick little move down and then it goes sideways, and then we saw it grind on out. And now the 200 now is starting to come back down, and you can see it's starting to roll and come back underneath price action through here. So if you're looking at price action now and using the 5-minute, it does show that it has potential for it to start to kind of roll back up and take back off here. If you want, I can dig out more information in this. If you're thinking like, hey, what are you talking about with indicators? This right here is on the RSI. It is showing that exhaustion right down through here, and there is divergence that came in. This is another reason to be careful when you're looking at taking trades. Lower time frames like the 5 minutes isn't as important, but here you're creating the lower lows, and then finally you start to break up and create a higher low, which right here is at that 5-minute again. And but if you're watching the same time frame through this area, this is the lower low here, but then it creates a higher low. So now you're creating divergence through here. So this is bullish divergence that it's starting to create, and it's starting to rotate. You're starting to see the MACD start to create, the histogram is starting to tighten up and go to 0 and starting to show expansion possibly. And then you're seeing that here in this area as well. So if you're not taking it off here, or you had your target further out, those are ways to pay attention to know, are we going to go ahead and trade back up and keep breaking down? It's just continuation. Because you see people draw this kind of stuff on the charts. They'll start drawing these kind of flagging patterns on the charts here, and basically what they're doing is saying, okay, well, we broke down, and this is a flag, a bear flag being created, and we're going to run on down to here. That is a possibility. like I said, we were breaking back above these key areas, but this is more of a bull type strategy right now in the market. You can see if I flip the charts around, this is a run up, right? A pullback and a run up. That's what you'd be thinking. So that might be something easier for you to see. Let me flip it back. Yeah, so you can see that that was the idea. But the indicators are telling you that be careful in that concept because it's already starting to create that bearish divergence in this. And yeah, showing energy back up. You can also see the volume and stuff started to come back into the charts right through here in this bottoming. So you have that divergence plus that volume. Everything's kind of telling you this is your bottom area, and you need to start watching for the stronger setups. And the one thing that people ask is like, okay, well, if that's happening, if it's creating this divergence in the charts, then when this is actually going to start going up. And it really doesn't mean that. It's just like when things are getting up near the top, doesn't mean it's just going to drop. It's kind of doing kind of like a plane when it goes up, or a roller coaster, it gets up to the top of the very top of the run down real fast, and it runs up real quick, and then it feels like your stomach or whatever is floating up there, and yet the right's going back down. That's kind of that idea. You know, when it runs up, it kind of is floating and drifting. It feels like you're floating up there, and then it starts to come back down. It's kind of what charts do here. You know, it ran down real hard, and now it's kind of floating and rebuilding. It's getting ready to head back in the other direction. So we'll have to just kind of watch. Now, as all the indicators and stuff start to tighten up and everything tightens up over this time frame, we'll have to watch it because it may actually be just building here on a sideways pattern. Then yeah, the breakdown could happen, which just means it's waiting for the longer time frames. And if we go out to those time frames, let's go ahead and take a look and see what's going on. Now you do see the 200 here, right here in the price action, and that's kind of what you saw when I was just showing you earlier. Was this was getting that breakdown through here. The energy had already burned out. We'd already broke through a lot of the support at the time, and now we're starting to rebuild that support. So if you're in this larger time frame, you can see that we looked at that 5 minute, 15 minute was kind of running out sideways for a long time frame, but that's really just right here in these two candles, and these two candles really haven't gone anywhere when you go to a bigger time frame. So this could be a bigger picture that we're looking at here on the charts. So this could still say, hey, let's go down to 115,000 here on the 4 hour based on this last move. So this is just a pullback like you saw here, run down, pullback, run down, pullback, run down. Right now the RSI is kind of showing that, but your histogram isn't. This histogram looks like that 5 minute like I was showing you earlier, where this is like a smiley face. It's smiling at you. And if you see a smiley face, typically it means it's rotating back up. Now, we need to keep watching it. This is just a front running the MACD. It's kind of looking at the MACD for that to happen. Now you can see it started to create a small smiley face here as well. But what we want to do is start to see it push into the zero zone, and we need to see this kind of start to cross. And then you're looking at this key area, which is your 200. It is above its 200 right now. It does show strength that it could possibly come back up here and trade back into these key levels again. And we'll have to kind of watch it to see. The stoaches are that way too. So, oh, sorry. It is showing that it's going to run back up here, possibly, and push back up. So it may just be a little run forward, but it could be a bigger push. But it could come all the way back up into this area and test these key levels. So let's have to look. And that's kind of what you're seeing here on the lower time frames as well. And the 15 minute. So 15 minute, 200's coming down through here. You get the 21. Your 30 minute, 50 minute, those red lines right now are getting ready to cross, which in my case will turn green, which shows more bullish pressure on the upside. So that is about it, guys. For the recap, just kind of going through some key data. Yesterday, was there a lot of opportunity to trade? No, not really. Not for just clean setups. And for myself, I've learned not to always try to take a trade every day. I know I used to look for that all the time and think that way, and I ended up, when I started looking at my portfolio over the 30 days, which I usually like to do, I started to realize that a lot of times when I was doing that, I ended up either not making anything or actually losing that day on my overall trades. So decided for myself that I really don't like to do that. I like to find those clean setups in the market, and opportunity. So for me, I would have really been looking at the 15 minute, and as it came down in this key area, if you're asking me like, well, what's a clean setup? I would like to see this create more of a flag like this in the bigger picture, and I would have wanted to watch this, see how this was going to break down right here. Would have been a key area that I would have been looking for to look for breakdown, and started looking at doing something like this, possibly, and then yeah, taking out this key lower area for myself. That's something I would have been looking for, just because I would want a stronger confirmation and the move down, just because it took off so aggressively in the morning. This would have held me back, and this is where I would want to see this break. And if this broke, then we could have taken advantage of it. So yeah, yesterday was a day that I just kind of watched the market and observed and took advantage of opportunity when it presented itself. So, all right, guys, like and subscribe to the videos. Like I said, there's a lot on the channels. Go ahead and check it out. You can learn quite a bit. You can use our GPT, the OpenAI Cabrota Trading Battle Box GPT, and learn quite a bit. Everything I was showing you here, it could have also pointed out and explained stuff to you as well if you do have questions. So it's kind of like having me right over your shoulder anytime you need. All right, guys, go ahead and have a great weekend, and we will see you guys soon.